I'm a single dad to 3 kids. The oldest is a teen. She and I usually get along for a dad and a teen. I think it could be a lot worse. The story started when our Apple iCloud got screwed up for the umpteenth time. Apple support hasn't helped me with this issue, or they haven't given me a working solution. I'm not a tech guy, but sometimes our texts would show up in each other's inboxes, but not on all devices. I've had my younger son's text show up on my laptop, my text show up on my daughter's phone, etc. Now, I'm usually a trusting dad and I delete these threads without reading them as soon as I notice they're there, but this time it was different. This may give away our relative location, but whatever. My daughter plans to attend a particular music fest this weekend with some friends. She has a job and bought her ticket on her own. I originally had no issue, she's usually responsible. Well, I saw an interesting message in a thread with her friend that showed up on my phone. The message read, "We should be able to sneak it in if we hide it well." So I snooped. I opened the thread and read it. I was shocked at what I saw. She and her friends are planning on sneaking in drinks, smoke, and something I've personally never heard of. I legitimately don't know what that is, so as you can assume, I'm freaking out by this point. I scroll up to find the outfits my daughter plans on wearing as well. Now, when I say outfits, that's me being very generous because it looks just like underwear, not an outfit. I decided that I wouldn't allow her to go to the festival. I thought about letting it go, but making sure she's actually wearing clothes and checking her bag before, but even if her bag is clean when she leaves the house, I know she'll find a way to get the stuff. I told her no, it's not happening, and I would never have okayed it in the first place if I'd known her plans. She and I haven't been speaking. She thinks I'm wrong to take away something she spent her own money on. I've told her it's not the concert, it's what she's planning on doing there. I can't possibly give my approval knowing about that in advance. She's asking me if I will reimburse her for the ticket if I don't allow her to go. I don't think I need to do that either. Maybe I'm a crappy dad, but we're not well off. I make enough to provide for my family, but not enough to where I can pull $300 out of my wallet to give her a concert ticket. Am I an idiot for doing this? I don't think there's a way I can let her go and be confident she won't be messing around in stuff she shouldn't be. Not the idiot. She may think you are, but you're protecting your child and enforcing totally reasonable rules. I would also give the other parents a heads up about what's being planned. They should have the opportunity to decide if they want their children in that situation. It's unfortunate for her party plans that you saw her posts, but it's best for her safety and health. Reimbursing her tickets would be kind, but she's being punished. This isn't about you having to ask her not to go because something unexpected happened. People end up in sketchy situations at those festivals. She has plenty of time to go when she's not a kid. I would let her sell the ticket, I suppose, but would absolutely not let her go and probably ground her for a few weeks. It would be bad parenting if OP didn't create consequences for this. She will be mad, but mad is better than being in the hospital or dead. I might be dramatic. I honestly think you made the right call and made your daughter dodge a huge bullet. Maybe I'm overstepping here, but I don't think teens in general should be allowed in big fests until they're at least 18. OP, you may have stopped her now, but I guarantee she'll get more sneaky and secretive if you don't have a serious discussion with her. I was a teen girl once. We have our ways. Update. Thanks for all the help. I reached out to 2 of the girls' parents I know. I calmly explained what happened and that I wouldn't be letting my daughter go. I didn't suggest what they should do with their girls. One took it better than the other. I have 2 tween sons with my ex. We broke up over several issues. One of them was Emily, a woman he'd worked with for years. The 2 of them grew very close, and she always told me that my ex deserved better than me and that I was trying to steal his family away from him. A few times she even pretended to be his wife during work functions, and my ex would laugh them off. Also, he was terrible with money and other stuff. After we separated, he made things official with Emily, which came as no surprise to me. Emily was even more hostile when she realized my ex's family still liked me and would still include me. When she realized my boys weren't super happy she was their dad's new girlfriend, Emily actually called my ex's mom names for saying I was the best mom when they were all having a family dinner. My ex got a firm warning from the judge about using Emily to do exchanges of our boys and to deal with custody issues. This was after she confronted me several times during exchanges in front of my children, and of her showing not just hostility, but saying things that could be taken as alienation of a parent. He continued to allow this, and X was fined for breaching the judge's orders. He was told if it happened again, custody would be modified. Recently, there's been an increase in anger toward me. Emily is unable to have children, and she wants the boys to consider her a mom. They asked me for help, and I said no. that Emily was not the mother of my children, and I wasn't going to encourage them to consider her one after the years of verbal abuse from her. The boys had an award night in June at school, and while there, Emily told the boys to get in photos with her for the school newsletter. They said no. She told them she wasn't asking. They said she wasn't their mom, so she couldn't say that. My ex scolded the boys, but I said nothing. Ex and Emily said I should have backed them up and not allowed disrespect. I told them that what they said was not disrespectful. They've claimed I'm a bad parent and that I shouldn't have let my kids get away with that, and I'm teaching them to disrespect women, etc. So now I'm here to find out. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, they stated facts. Also hilarious that they are compliant about not showing respect. Does this behaviour qualify going back to get the custody modified in your favour? Because, honestly, your boy's mental health will be continuously harmed by those two idiots. She's not their mother and they aren't substitutes or stand-ins because she has fertility issues. They're kids, and all she and your ex will do is alienate them and permanently damage their relationship with your boys if they don't learn to back off. What happens behind closed doors when they're at his place when no one is there to protect them? Would your ex protect your sons or his new wife? You do realize they had an emotional affair at least. How deluded are Emily and your ex? This is exactly how most kids feel about their dad and his affair partner turned girlfriend. They are never going to accept her as their mom. As for her stating that she wasn't asking, in other words she was ordering them, their response was correct. She is not their mother. Therefore she cannot order them that way. Emily is not their mother, that's a fact. She will not have a motherly role in their lives by being hostile to their mother. X is a fool. He will allow his wife to cost him his kids in their hearts and in the courts. You need to tell him that. Tell him that you will only make parental decisions with him and that none will involve her being a mother. If she wants kids, they better adopt because she's not getting yours. So really a pretty simple situation I found myself in. I, 26 male, have been dating my girlfriend Alison, 25 female, for 3 years, living together for the past 16 months. She has a sister named Jane, 30, who was married to her husband, Cody. So obviously over the last couple of years we've gotten to know them really well. They seem to have a good relationship for the most part. Alison and I allow Jane to come over often, and recently she's been venting to us both about her relationship. They were starting to have issues, and she was talking to us about how to fix them. I suggested the obvious ones, couples counselling, more quality time, etc. Well, Jane came over a week later and said Cody and her weren't trying couples counselling because she didn't want to and thought it wouldn't work. What was her bright idea? To withhold intimacy from Cody till he changed some of his behaviour. I told her straight up that this was a horrible idea. She told me I didn't know Cody as she did, and that this would shape him up. Fast forward to last night. Guess who comes over bawling her eyes out? Jane, saying that Cody didn't come home, he was at a hotel when she searched his location on Snapchat. She then went and looked on his iPad, and found out that he downloaded Tinder and was getting notifications on it. Finally, when he showed up home, she asked where he was, and he told her he'd met a friend for drinks. Obviously he was lying, and then she ran over here. I was in the middle of trying to build a desk in the living room, and I was watching my favourite baseball team, so I didn't want some crying woman in my earshot. So I asked them to go outside if they wanted to talk. I was called heartless and an idiot for not caring. I said I didn't care because I told you so. I said, Jane, you played a stupid game and won a stupid prize. You should have just divorced if you couldn't get Cody to change, not manipulate him. She said she didn't manipulate him and that I was being an idiot. I said, okay, then please take it to another room. I'm trying to finish this up. My girlfriend thinks I'm being an idiot. I told her I was not her sister's relationship coach, and I had some actual things I needed to take care of, and her sister was dragging me into her dumb relationship issues. I offered decent solutions at first and did originally care, but her sister knew more than me apparently, and she found out. Am I the idiot? Yeah, okay, fine, Jane messed around and found out, but I didn't want some crying woman in my earshot, and I had some actual things I needed to take care of. Geez, you were building a desk, not negotiating a ceasefire. If you have no sympathy to offer, fine. If you just want to rub in what a stupid female Jane is for not taking your advice, which, by the way, she didn't ask you for, I don't think you're in as much of a position to be dishing out guidance to other people on that subject as you seem to believe. Everyone's the idiot here. Agree, everyone's the idiot here. She's trying for a widely failed method. He is for obvious reasons, and you are because the biggest reason for you, I told you so, was interrupted man time. Your sister-in-law is going through a crisis, even if it was self-made. Do you know what you did here? You chose baseball over your girlfriend. I'm sure she's grateful for you putting her between a rock and a hard place. Applause. Sorry, I honestly don't think not having intimacy for a little bit validates cheating. I don't think she did this to herself. He probably was already thinking about it. Cheating is more about the person who chooses to cheat. So she did it to herself is BS. You are the idiot. Her husband cheating on her was a decision he made. Blaming the wife for her husband's choices is a bit unfair. If you didn't want to be involved in the first place, you should have talked to your girlfriend from the start to talk it out far away from your earshot. Considering your attitude towards your girlfriend's sister, I'd start changing your attitude, or you'll start having your own relationship problems if you don't already. My fiancé, 37 male, and I, female 30, started living together 6 months ago. I own a house and he moved in with me. I run an online business from home, allowing me to live comfortably. A month after moving in, he quit his job, saying how much he hated it and that he would try and do Twitch streaming for a living. I'm all for following your passion, so I was supportive, although surprised at the turn of events. I'm in a financial position to support us both, but it felt off. Anyway, nothing happened with his Twitch channel. Sure, he's gaming all day, but hasn't bothered even to try and create an account. He just games for pleasure. It's been 7 months. I've had conversations with him suggesting he finds work, but he keeps telling me that I'm unsupportive and needs time. He wants us to buy a bigger house together, but I said that I was fine with my current one and that since he didn't have a job, I didn't want to get a mortgage and be left with paying everything, and he told me that if I found a real job, maybe I wouldn't have financial problems. We had a massive argument that night. Now he's been hinting at needing a new gaming laptop that costs a few grand, and I've been ignoring it, so he asked me to buy it outright for his birthday. I told him no, that my fake job doesn't cover new laptops, and he got really angry at me, telling me I was selfish and was ruining his career. Granted, I can afford to buy it, but he really hurt me by saying my business is not a real job, despite me working my butt off. Am I the idiot for not buying him a new laptop? OP, you sound intelligent. Is the intimacy that good for all this BS? What does he bring to the relationship other than entitlement and laziness? He's taken advantage of you. He's being a leech. Why do smart women buy this crap? I'll never understand. Pull your weight or get out. I'm not your mother or ATM. I am ruining his career. LMAO. What career? He's not even trying to be a professional gamer. If he doesn't have a streaming account, all he's doing is just gaming. He's being a professional slob. In this situation, I'm pretty sure the only intimacy she's getting is a disappointment. Not the idiot, but curious as to why you're referring to him as your fiancé and not your ex. It felt off because it is. He showed you exactly who he is. Please believe him and move on. And instead of him worrying about what's in your pockets, he needs to be worried about the fact that nothing is in his. A partner makes deposits, not constant withdrawals. Cut the cord. Wow, if I was OP, my eye would be twitching. So he saw you make money with your own business and decided you could be his sugar mama while he followed his dream of being a professional gamer? Yeah, you know what? No. You have a real job. He has no job and now he's going through some early midlife crisis trying to be some famous edgy gamer. Sorry, but he sounds like he's 19. He'll be 40 soon. He needs a real job, not you. So, a wild situation, but I need a fair judgment. So I, 27 male, have been dating Regan, 27 female, for 2 years and have been engaged for the past 6 months. When we first started dating, I realised that Regan didn't have the closest relationship with her parents, especially her mom, but all her siblings seemed to get along. I didn't find out why until later. So the parents are part of the lifestyle, aka swingers. Growing up, this was really rough on Regan. Everybody in her small town knew and people made fun of her relentlessly. She hated it, but at the same time, they were her parents. When Regan was a senior, her mom's videos were posted on a website. Boys in her grade found them. It made her life terrible. So she immediately went to a college far away, where we first met, and she really hasn't had a relationship with them. We live 30 minutes away from them and see them only at Christmas. Her parents are always reaching out to her, however, so I've been seen as the guy isolating Regan from the family. So I come from a traditional family, church on Sunday types. Regan fell in love with this and really attached herself to my mom. They've gotten super close. Regan always talks about her liking my normal parents, so Regan decided not to invite her mom and dad to the wedding. She said she was embarrassed by them and doesn't want people to know who her mom is. She asked my dad to walk her down the aisle. Her siblings got angry at this and she decided to cut them off and not invite them, which caused Regan's mom to explode. She's called us so many times in the last few months and tried showing up at our place. I've had to tell her to leave every time as Regan didn't want to, leading to the image of me isolating Regan. So this weekend Regan was at a bachelorette party. I was home alone. I hear someone at my door. I see it was Regan's mom and she looked emotional. I spoke through the door and told her Regan wasn't home and she needed to leave. She kept knocking and saying, "I know she's in there, I just want to talk." I said she wasn't home and that she needed to leave. Well, she walked to a car parked in the driveway and made a phone call. At this point, my neighbour texted me and asked if everything was okay as he heard yelling. Regan's mum came back to the door and kept pounding on it, saying she wanted to talk to her daughter. I told her she had 1 minute to leave the property. She didn't, so I called the cops. She was arrested for trespassing. Regan came back and I told her what had happened. She was upset but understood when I showed her my neighbour's text and doorbell footage. Regan's siblings are angry, however, and so is her dad, so I can't help but feel like I did go too far. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Her parents are certainly free to be swingers, but it was very selfish not to think about how their lifestyle choices impacted their children. Regan is an adult and has decided not to have them involved in her life. Her mother was warned but ignored it. You're free to choose, but choices have consequences. But look at it from their perspective. I would think the same thing if my daughter cut me off. Regan needs to explain her feelings to them and why they aren't welcome in her life. Regan also likely needs therapy. As a woman with equally crazy parents, you can tell them the whys for cutting them off until you're blue in the face, but they'll never believe it. They will always choose to believe that someone else or something else is to blame. Taking responsibility for their actions is not in their wheelhouse. Your girlfriend has every right not to want to be around her parents. I can't even imagine how awkward and uncomfortable she felt when she was around them. And you have every right to call the cops on her mom. She was trespassing, apparently causing a scene, was warned that the police would be coming, and she still stuck around until the police arrived. You are not the idiot. You're never the idiot for protecting yourself and your girlfriend.